This week we're here at the Transportation Depot with Jessica Johnson, who is the Stormwater Coordinator for the City of Hot Springs.
Hi, Tammy.
Welcome, Jessica.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're so glad to have you on a very important subject. Today we're going to be talking about our watershed and what we can do to protect it. For those of us who don't know what a watershed is, can you explain?
Sure. A watershed is basically just a region or an area that the surface waters like rainwater, stormwater runoff, and streams, creeks, lakes, and also the waters underground in the aquifers where they run to and drain into a similar point. We're here in Hot Springs, and our watershed is the Upper Watershed River watershed that drains into the lower Mississippi Valley and then into the Gulf of Mexico. Just for a big picture, for the people who may not know, there are 58 watersheds here in the state of Arkansas and over 2,200 in the nation. So locally, it may not seem like we're doing a big deal if we throw our litter out or, put something in the water that could cause pollution, but the big picture is everything eventually goes to the Gulf, and our water also has to pass through other water bodies, and we could be causing impairment to those as well.
It's important to keep in mind that big picture of what we do eventually affects the Gulf of Mexico.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Well, today before us we have a stormwater model here.
Right. It's a watershed model. This is the Enviroscape watershed model, and basically what it shows, it's just kind of a child's toy, if you will, but it's a good visual that will show hydrology and how specific pollutants actually make their way to our water bodies.
Okay, so let's see how this demonstration actually works.
Okay, so we have two different types of pollution. There's point source pollution, which is basically just means that it's fairly easy for us to track it back, the pollution back to its source. So an example of that would be, this is a factory right here, and at night they go out there and they dump all of their waste into the ditch behind the building. When that happens, we have a fisherman or someone on a boat that's out on the lake who actually sees this pollution, and they call us and they say, "Hey, what's going on? We see something crazy in the water." So we actually can follow the trail back to where it originated. So that's a point source pollutant. Now, the more difficult and more common type of pollution that we encounter are everyday things that people don't realize are actually a hazard to our water bodies. Like, for example, here we have a neighborhood, and they have, everybody wants a lush green lawn, so they add extra fertilizer, use different kinds of herbicides, pesticides to try to keep their yards nice and green. Everybody wants that, right? We've got a golf course over here. They are definitely using some fertilizer. And then we have just the streets themselves. There's oftentimes not a whole lot we can do about this because brake dust and auto fluids, accidents are going to happen and things are going to happen that we can't avoid. But if we can avoid changing our oil in a parking lot or on a surface that's going to run into the storm drain, obviously we want to try to do that. Then we have a construction site over here, and they are not doing the best job at keeping the dirt on their site. That's something that we have to watch out for. So it's tracked up and down the roads. And then the all-time litter, trash, and debris. This stuff is everywhere because we find cigarette butts, we find candy wrappers, anything and everything that someone doesn't want to throw in the trash can. So right now, obviously it doesn't look like it's a horrible thing because it's dry. It's kind of not really an immediate threat to the water, but then it starts raining. What happens to our water when it rains? If that's the lake, everything ends up in Lake Hamilton or Lake Catherine.
Jessica, that model really tells the story.
It does. It's very important that the public realize some things that you may not be aware of are actually causes of water pollution. And I have created the Be Water Wise brochure series that's available to the public by contacting me. I'm very excited about a cleanup event that's coming up on October the 4th. It's Trash Bash, and the community actually goes out to the shorelines of Lake Hamilton and Lake Catherine and clean up the lake. So contact me for more information on any of the stormwater news that we just brought to you, or how to get involved with Trash Bash. My phone number is 321-6743.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And next week, we'll bring you more city news.